Hello and welcome back. This is the Stitching Field, and this is December 2nd, 2020. I can't believe it's December already. How was your Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving? Ours was pretty quiet. We kept it small, but it was nice. I want to thank all of you who've stopped by, who've liked, subscribed, who showed me so much love. I'm very appreciative. Thank you to Julie and Alyssa for sharing my project Nerthus in their whip share. Their channel is Stitching at the Cabin. You should see some of the gorgeous projects they have. Something I missed in my very first video, my whip parade. Sorry, can't talk today. This Dragonfly freebie. I didn't mention where I got this. This is from cyberstitchers.com and it's called Dragonfly 2. So if anybody was looking for that, that's where you can find it. Okay, now I have some finishes today. This first one, I didn't show my whip parade because it was done stitching. I just had to frame it. This is Always Follow Your Dreams. I'll insert a picture here so you can see the frame better. This is by Dots and Spots Shop on Etsy. And this is the second time that I've actually stitched this. The first time I stitched it, I used a Picture This Plus Prank, which is an orange fabric, and it was really gorgeous. And then my daughter-in-law saw it and said, "Oh my gosh, I love it." She's never expressed that much excitement over a piece of my cross stitch. So I decided to restitch it, only this time I used Lavender Fields. It's a 14 count, and I purchased it by That's So Kimberly on Etsy. This is a 14 count. And the only change I made this time is I changed the red from the red that was called for to Color and Cotton's Dracula. Had to think there for a second. Okay, now I have a couple more finishes. Let me put this away. You might remember I was working on this for a gift. This is Star Wars. And this is stitched on 16 count gray fabric that I got off eBay. It didn't have a name, so I can't tell you that. I stitched this 2/1. And the pattern is from Embroidery for Kids Art. Now I ordered a frame. I am not leaving the house right now. I live in Pennsylvania and we're having a huge outbreak of the COVID. So I'm going to stay home, and I ordered a frame from Art to Frame. And this is an odd shape, so I had to get a special cut, especially, what do I want to say? The frame had to be specially made because it's not a standard size. So I needed a 10 by 21 frame for this. And I was able to purchase this, and I've purchased their frames before. Oops, I got a thread on here. I was able to purchase a frame for about $21. My other finish is the flamingos. And a lot of you seem to really like the flamingos. So all I had to do, I forgot about the leg. I had to do the leg. I had a few mistakes in this blue area here. And then I just had to finish in this section here. So that is all done. That is stitch 2/1 on a hand-dyed 14 count that I did myself. I mixed tan and orange red together to come up with this color. The design is by Cross Stitcher, and it's in a book called Designer Cross Stitch Projects. Again, I purchased a frame from Art to Frame. And because this is kind of a standard size frame, I was able to get a frame for $15. And my granddaughter, her mother has taken down all of her artwork and is reframing everything in pink frames. So I even had to get a pink frame, and getting a pink frame, and it's solid wood, I was able to get it for a decent price there. Okay, so now, how about some of the projects I worked on this month? The first one is my Linen and Threads band sampler. And if you remember, I'll put in a picture here. I had to finish off these bees. I can't remember if I had 2 or 3, or maybe I had 2.5. Who knows? So this is the June band, and I'm working my way from the bottom up, and this is the May band. So I got quite a bit done, and I wanted to show you, I actually started this once before. And 2 of my favorite colors are red and blue. So I decided I was going to use 115 by DMC, which is variegated red. And this is what I had. And I just wasn't feeling it. So I cut it off, reused all the fabric, but I wanted to show you the difference between fabrics and floss. And this blue with the white, by the way, I'm using B5200, is much better. Now the fabric is called Ocean Ada, and it's by My Vintage Needle Arts on Etsy, and it's an 18 count. The next one is my absolute favorite. This is the one that Julie and Alyssa shared on stitching, on their video, Stitching at the Cabin. This is Nerthus by UnconventionalXStitch. You know, most people say December is their busiest month. For me, in all actuality, November became my busiest month. So I'll put a picture in of where it was before. And I have a lot of confetti right in here, but I didn't have a whole lot of time, and I wanted to see some progress. So I came over here and started filling in the background. This is on 18 count white Zweigart, and I got a total of 909 stitches this month. Pretty bad considering it's my favorite piece. But this one I got quite a bit on. This one is Home Sweet Home. Let me put a picture in here. This is by NinaOlSanEmbroidery. This is on 18 count white Zweigart. And last time you saw it, I had finished page 1 except for these blue stitches right here. Since then, I finished that, went on to finish page 2, brought down and finished some of the letters on the next row of pages. And as soon as I get done with this row, I will have page 3 finished. So in November, I did 8,351 stitches, bringing my total to 19.71%. So I was feeling pretty good. And I moved on to my next one, just the last couple of days. And this is, let me grab it. This is One Afternoon. This is by Artecy. And I didn't finish anything more over here on this house. So what you saw, I'll put a picture in, but what you saw, that hasn't changed. In the meantime, don't mind my threads. These are my waist threads. I filled in a couple of the dark orange here. There was a single stitch over here, some of this, some of the orange in here, and then everything from here down I finished just in the last Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I finished 2,313 stitches, bringing my total, I'm so close to halfway, to 49.60%. Okay, that's One Afternoon. Oh, that's also on an 18 count Zweigart, just a plain white. So then I thought, I deserve a new start. So I'll put a picture of what this is. This is Mountains by Make for Memory on Etsy. And I thought, this is a piece of fabric that I don't even know what it was called, but I didn't like the color. It wasn't me. So I tried to over dye it, and that's pretty accurate. And to me, it just looked like a mess. So I thought, okay, I'm going to save this and use it for a full coverage piece. So I started stitching this in Goodreader because buying it off Etsy, my first thought was it's not going to work in Pattern Keeper. And then I thought, well, wait, how about if I put it in Pattern Keeper and see if it works? And it did. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start gridding it. So I got to about here and I went, oh no, this isn't going to work. I don't have enough fabric. So I counted it out and nope, I didn't have enough fabric. So one of the mistakes I did is I thought this was an 18 count and this is actually a 16 count. But even with that mistake, I didn't give myself enough room. But I wanted to use this fabric. So I'm going to play chicken with the fabric. and I restarted it. And you can see I have very little. It's a good thing I do my own framing because I have very little border here. But I was able to get 2,581 stitches in, and I'm about 6.5%. Okay, now I have a new segment I'd like to do. I don't want to do a pattern parade, which some people do, because most of my patterns are digital. So I thought I would show you one every month that I really, really like. And this month I thought I would start with a freebie. This here is Doggies. It's a freebie on 1-2-3 Stitch. I don't know if everybody knows that they have freebies. You pretty much have to do a search. If you go to their webpage, it's really hard to find it. So now I've got something else. I went shopping this month. Everybody had their Black Friday sales on, and so I'm okay as long as the sales are less than 40%. If they're 40% or more, I'm probably going to try to get it. So this, let me do it this way. This here is Butterfly. I'll show you some of these on my tablet because I don't print out. This is by HMCrossStitch. Now again, all of these are on Etsy. This is Portofino Streets in Italy, and I'm extremely upset with this pattern. This is several pages, and every single page, I'll put a picture in here of what she did. She's put in her shop name and the word Etsy, covering up the symbols. So right in here, there's a group of symbols that I'm gonna have to wait till I stitch it to figure out, but I figured out pretty much everything else. I contacted the seller, have not heard back. I asked her if she could maybe give me one that wasn't in bold print, or if she could give me one without her mark on it, and she did not respond. So I'm not going to share the shop name because I'm just very upset with it. All right, this is Yoga Dogs. My granddaughter saw this and wanted it. And her birthday's coming up in March, so I have a whole plan of what I'm going to do with this. And she has a dachshund, only hers is more brown. So I will probably change, there's two versions when you buy this. You get the black and you get the brown. So I'll probably do it in brown. Oh, and that one was by Little Room in the Attic. This is BeetleJuice. This is by Dots and Spots Shop. It's the same shop that I got the Freddy Krueger Follow Your Dreams that I showed that I finished. Okay, then I have Pumpkin Patch. This is by NinaOlSanEmbroidery, and I love her patterns. This one though, I should have read it a little closer. This is a full coverage piece, and in order to eliminate stitching all that white, it's going to be difficult to get the letters crisp like that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch it as a full coverage or if I'm going to try to play around and eliminate the background. Okay, this is Pittsburgh Skyline. This is by Free Folk Farm. And I'll insert a picture here of what I did with this. I eliminated the word Pittsburgh, changed the blue for the rivers to white for snow, eliminated all that yellow background, and I just stitched in Merry Christmas and the year for my grandson. This is interesting. I buy a lot of patterns on Etsy, and this is the first time I've encountered this. This is Vintage Santas, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but this one here, what they did is they literally took a book and ran it through a copier, and you can see the shading on the edges from the copier, and then they combined all of it into a PDF. So I don't think I would ever buy from that shop again, and that happens on Etsy. This here is flowers in teal glass vases. This is really that mason jar pattern that everybody's been doing. This is by SvetLavinCX. I think that's how you say it. This here is Woodland Santa. Again, this is from the same person that put their watermark all over the pattern. They didn't do that to this one, but again, I'm not going to share their shop name just because I'm pretty upset that I can't get them to work with me. And this one I've had saved. My granddaughters want this for their bedroom, but I kept holding off until Julie, thanks Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, pointed out that UnconventionalXStitch was having a sale. They were only having a sale on their Etsy shop, and I'm not sure if it's still going on. But hey, it's a sale. I was going to buy this at some point, so I got this. Okay, this here is Butterfly. And this one, I was watching Jan Hicks Creates, and she was showing a website. And it was called WellStitches. And I spotted these butterflies, and I showed them to my granddaughters, and they got all excited. Yes, they want that in their room. So I can finally do a few things for my granddaughters' rooms. Then I had one more purchase, and I'll insert the picture here. I've had issues with arthritis all my life. I was probably 12 years old. And so holding a hoop, which I've always done, is starting to cause problems with my one finger. So it was time to buy a stand. And that's why you saw one afternoon on a frame. So it's taking a while to get used to, but I'm doing okay with it. I'm glad I purchased the case creation. The other lap stands and sit-on stands that I saw, they weren't flexible like this so that you can move it around to where you wanted it. So let's go on now. Those were my purchases, and not counting the frame, I spent $47. You probably won't see purchases every month because it's not something I do every month. Okay, so December stitching. I'm going to work on this, which is 4 Seasons by Soda Stitch. I have this in Pattern Keeper, but I've got to go in and take everything that I've stitched and mark it off in Pattern Keeper, and then I can get started. I'm going to continue on One Afternoon. I'm going to continue on Home Sweet Home, and I'm going to continue on Nerthus. Those are my plans. But then I have a couple starts. Because December is my birthday month, I decided I wanted a new start for my birthday. So this is my new start. This is OrencoOriginals. And I bought this off their Etsy shop. I'm not sure if they have their own website. Yeah, they do have their own website down here. Some of their patterns you can get as a PDF, and some of them you can't. This one I couldn't. And as blue is my favorite color, you can just see all that blue in there. I had to get it. So let me show you when you get, their products are really good. So I have a piece of 14 count, because it calls for 14 count, Ada. And this is just a white Zweigart again. Let me pull these out. Okay, so when you order from them and you get, I'm not sure about their PDFs, but when you get a printed pattern, they will give you finishing and backstitching suggestions. They will tell you all about their charts and how to work. So if you're new to this, this is the perfect company to try. After that, let me see if I can, oh, there's another page. You get, on heavy cardstock, you get a list. It'll tell you the fabric, and it'll tell you the minimum size fabric. No messing up like I did on Mountains. It will tell you all of the colors you need and how many skeins of them. And then I'm going to try to do this very carefully so I don't show the pattern. You will get a pattern that is all one size. So if you scanned it, you could work it on a tablet. And at the very top of every page of their pattern, you have all the colors and the symbols. So you don't have to worry about flipping through. Now, in addition to that, you also then get a pattern which is enlarged that you can read, or again, you can scan it and turn it into a PDF to put it in a reader. But it's larger sized, and for this particular pattern, it's on 4 pages. But that's not all they give you. They then send you floss cards. Let's see which side. You get I got 2 cards. One side is laminated, and they have all their symbols on there. You would have to punch your own holes. And on the back, it's not laminated. So if you wanted to write the number of the thread colors that go with the corresponding symbols, you could. So that will be my birthday start. And then I'm going to have a start for New Year's. And I'm not sure what we're doing New Year's, so I'm not sure if I'll get the video out on the 1st or if it'll be a day or 2 late. But it's going to be Welcome to New York. This is going to be for my grandson's bedroom. It's by CountryMagicStitch. And those will be what I work on in December. Of course, there could be a few other things if I'm just in the mood. So I want to thank you for coming by and spending some time with me. I hope if you celebrate Christmas, you have a wonderful Christmas. Please be safe. Enjoy winter coming. We had our first snowfall. I hope you're going to have a great month. Take care.